5 News starts now with breaking news.
Thank you for joining us for your 5 News at noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley. We start with some breaking news. An elementary student in Bentonville was hit by a car this morning. 5 News reporter Emily Moss is at the Bentonville Police Department now. And Emily, we just got some new information on this in the last few minutes.
That's right. Good afternoon, Morgan. I'm here in Bentonville following that breaking news that a child was hit this morning. It happened, police tell us, around 6:49, just 10 minutes before 7 o'clock in the morning. The child, which we now know was a 4th grader at Central Park Elementary School, is thankfully okay. That's the most important part of the story. They had non-life-threatening injuries, although they did have to go to the hospital. We know that it happened on Sears and South Morningstar this morning. Now, we've reached out to the police for more information about whoever allegedly hit this child, the vehicle they were in, the condition, the situation that would have caused this to happen. We have not gotten those details yet. We've also reached out to the school, who, although they confirmed that it was a child at the school, they have not given any more information out about this specific incident. But we are told that they plan to release more information and statement to both the public and parents later on today. Of course, as we continue to track these developments, we'll give you the latest updates. 5 News, Claire Everbach is on the ground right now, also working on new details for this story. So once we learn more information, we'll make sure to give it to you. Back to you.
All right, Emily, thank you so much, and we'll keep you updated on this story as it develops. You can also find live updates on our website, 5newsonline.com. Officials in Tennessee say some people have died. A number are unaccounted for after an explosion at a manufacturing plant outside of Nashville. Authorities haven't confirmed any specific numbers. They say it's too soon to confirm the extent of the damage. Multiple agencies respond to the scene. Officials say there was concern about secondary blasts from this structure.
Well, outside it's feeling pretty nice out there. We're seeing temperatures in the mid-70s pretty much across the board. You can see 77 there in Fayetteville is actually the warmer side of things. Sometimes that sensor can get a little bit on the warmer side, but still pretty impressive. That's the warmest spot in the area. And compared to this time yesterday, you can see Northwest Arkansas in particular, a little bit warmer out there. The River Valley is about the same. And we're seeing a lot of that sunshine, a little bit of southerly wind start to pick up, and that's what's contributing to a little bit of warmer air this afternoon. Now, for the River Valley, we're seeing plenty of blue sky. A little bit of cloud covers moving into Northwest Arkansas. That's because just off to our north, we're seeing a cold front move in. While it's not going to swing through our area, it is pushing some showers our direction. Now notice a lot of this is kind of falling apart by the time it gets here, but you notice just kind of near the Branson area, some of that could get close to Madison County, and then this off back to the west could get into parts of Benton County as well later this afternoon. So if you're in our far northern areas, be mindful that we could see some spotty showers later today into the evening hours. Overall, that chance will be pretty low though, especially once we get into tomorrow. Overall, this weekend it's just going to be warmer and continue to be mainly on the dry side. So we'll talk more about that and get you ready for the weekend ahead coming up in your full forecast. Morgan.
Thanks, Danny. 3 family members who prosecutors say helped a man accused of shooting and killing a Rogers 17-year-old have pleaded guilty to helping him flee the country. Alexis Wynn was found dead in the driver's seat of a car in 2022. Alejandro Reyes was identified as a suspect days later. His brother, father, and mother were later contacted by police, and they said they didn't know where Reyes was. They were later arrested and charged with helping him escape to Mexico. They were all sentenced to 120 days in jail and 6 years of probation. Arkansas lawmakers say state agencies mishandled a child abuse case that was reported 29 times over the course of a decade. On Wednesday, lawmakers questioned Arkansas officials about the case out of Mountain Home. In 2024, police say they found a teen boy locked in a bathroom. Daniel Wright and Jacqueline Barnett were arrested on more than 200 counts related to the alleged abuse. In a letter, Tiffany Wright, the Division of Children and Family Services Director, says more than 24 reports came into the child abuse hotline. In the meeting this week, lawmakers criticized the Department of Human Service officials for a lack of action.
You said, I hope there are no other children that fall into this category. Hope is not a strategy. You have data and tools at your disposal. You and your team have to act because none of us can let this happen again on our watch.
Tiffany Wright told lawmakers no disciplinary action had been taken for staff involved in those 29 reports, and accountability was assessed during a staff review related to this incident. You can learn much more about this case. We have an in-depth story on our website, 5newsonline.com. We're also working to learn more about a car chase in Fort Smith. This is video of the chase. Police say began in Sequoyah County on Thursday, came across the Garrison Avenue Bridge into Fort Smith. Police say it ended when the suspect's car crashed on Old Greenwood Road near the airport. The chase involved drug task force officers out of Sequoyah County. We've not heard back from them as to exactly what happened. An Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says the black bear involved in a deadly attack out of Franklin County showed multiple signs of poor health. In new findings, they say the bear was malnourished, which is highly unusual for this time of year with plenty of things for a healthy bear to eat. The bear apparently did not have human food in his diet, but lab tests also revealed microscopic abnormalities in the bear's brain and spinal cord, pointing to possible neurological problems. The report still stops short of conclusively saying what caused the bear to attack. And a mountain lion was hit and killed along a highway in Arkansas's Hot Spring County. Authorities say a driver hit and killed that mountain lion on Highway 84 near I-30. It's the first confirmed mountain lion death in the wild in Arkansas since February 2024, only the third, though, since 1975. Even though sightings of mountain lions in the state have increased in recent years, the Game and Fish Commission says there's still no evidence of a reproducing population. The Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to a politician from Venezuela for her struggle to turn dictatorship into democracy. Remy Inocencio has more.
Maria Corina Machado is known by many as Venezuela's Iron Lady for her unbending resolve, and she's seen as a hero or a villain depending on which side of the country's political spectrum that you're on. To supporters, and she has millions, she's been Venezuela's moral compass, described as defiant and principled in the face of Nicolas Maduro's rule, who so many believe basically stole last year's election from the opposition candidate. Now, Machado herself had been barred from holding office for 15 years. She's faced death threats and has been in hiding since last year.
The Nobel Peace Prize.
The secretary of the Nobel Committee got choked up as he called Machado just minutes before announcing her to the world. Here's her reaction.
Well, I have no words. I'm honored, humbled. I am very grateful on behalf of the Venezuelan people. We're not there yet. We're working very hard to achieve it, but I'm sure that we will prevail.
But Machado is also opposed by millions. Many see her as too ideological and too polarizing, and she has refused to negotiate with the Maduro regime to break the country's political gridlock. Regardless, the Nobel Committee has taken a side. Remy Inocencio, CBS News, London.
The government shutdown is now entering its 10th day, and senators have left Washington until next week. President Trump threatened to cut unspecified programs if the shutdown continues, but both sides are locked in a stalemate. Democrats want extensions of health care subsidies set to expire within months. Right now, all eyes are on air travel, with the shutdown straining the TSA and the Federal Air Traffic Control System.
We gave our blessings to all the TSA workers, and we made sure that, we told them that, that hang in there, and hopefully in time things will change.
Meanwhile, food banks across the country are bracing for higher demand from hundreds of thousands of federal workers who will be going without pay. The Senate is scheduled to return to Washington next Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Israel's military says the ceasefire in Gaza is now in effect. That starts the 72-hour clock for the release of the remaining hostages in Gaza. In exchange, Israel will release 250 Palestinian prisoners. President Trump is expected to travel to the region soon. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
The Israeli military released video showing its troops in Gaza withdrawing to an agreed-upon line. With the ceasefire in effect, the remaining hostages are expected to be released in the coming days. And Palestinians are starting to return to what's left of their neighborhoods following 2 years of war. President Trump, who helped broker the peace deal, headed to Walter Reed Medical Center this morning. He's scheduled to visit Egypt and Israel on Monday.
I think it's going to be a day of great celebration. I've never seen anything like it. The streets of so many countries right now, they're just roaring with love and with praise for the people that did this.
At Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, Israelis prayed for the hostages' safe return. Israel believes 48 remain in Gaza, 20 of them still believed to be alive.
Too soon to open champagne.
For the past 2 years, Yehuda Cohen has been fighting for the release of his son, 21-year-old Nimrod Cohen, an Israeli soldier.
It's complicated because we don't know exactly in what condition. After 2 years, he will come out. This is a big void. We want to get to that point and start rehabilitation on Nimrod, of course.
The Trump administration says up to 200 U.S. military personnel will help monitor the implementation of the ceasefire agreement in Israel, working with other international forces on the ground. The troops will also assist with the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza. President Trump says Palestinians will not be required to leave Gaza during the reconstruction phase. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The 250 Palestinian prisoners set to be released as part of this initial phase of the agreement are serving life sentences. In addition, Israel is also expected to release 1,700 more people arrested in the 2 years since the October 7th terror attack. Well, happening today, the Peacemaker Music Festival starts in Fort Smith. Artists like Sam Barber and Stephen Wilson Jr. will perform at the Riverfront Amphitheater for the two-day event. Gates open at 1 this afternoon. Proceeds go to local charities, the arts community, and downtown projects. And it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and to celebrate an annual festival returning to our area this weekend, the Northwest Arkansas Hispanic Heritage Festival will be in Springdale tomorrow for its 12th year. One organizer says the festival will celebrate the contributions of Hispanic people.
I think that the most important thing that we want people to take away is that to build a connection with the people from diverse backgrounds, diverse countries.
He says the event will be both in English and in Spanish. They invite everyone to come out. The free festival will start at noon and end at 5 tomorrow at Luther George Park in downtown Springdale. If you don't have any plans this weekend, we have you covered. All you have to do is text Weekend Guide to that number on your screen, and we'll send you a list of events happening all around the area. You can also find that list on our website, 5newsonline.com. Just go to the Weekend Guide tab.